we appeared to have all this money, or we appeared to be rich, or we appeared, you were in the business.
It's painful. It is painful.
The true story was I was broke as shit in an abusive relationship. Many boys are abused.
And how that screws
and how
us,
that happens.
How that screws us up. Because my whole perspective on sex and women,
yeah,
with what I experienced at a young age and never talked about it, like that was one of the things I had with my dad. Like, if you would have talked to me about some stuff.
Did you know that behind Hollywood's glitz and glamour, calculated power plays can shatter even the most untouchable stars?
All the things that we haven't talked about.
Today, prepare to be stunned. What if I told you that one of Hollywood's beloved icons, Blake Lively, has reached her breaking point?
All I've done as a father was whatever I could to help you. So I didn't want ever anybody to think that I've done anything to help you. But
not because of a random mishap, but due to a deliberate, meticulously orchestrated sabotage.
In ways, I was living out also one of your dreams, and I felt like I wanted to free myself of that. But we never talked about it. I was suffering. We never talked about anything. You're my dad, and I was having resentment for all the stuff we don't talk about.
In this video, we uncover how Justin Baldoni's family launched a covert campaign against her, unraveling an intricate web of betrayal, manipulation, and high-stakes drama.
Dad, that's your job. It's your job to do whatever you can to do to help your son, right? So I think that there felt like this stickiness, like this.
Stay tuned as we peel back the layers of this scandal, reveal the shocking evidence, and explore the emotional fallout that's shaking Tinseltown to its core.
Today, and what you're going through and the therapy that we've all been going through.
It all began with whispers that quickly morphed into a full-blown controversy.
Oh, this was pure evil genius. It read, "In a world full of Blakes and Ryans, be a Justin."
You knew it wasn't going to be easy. We're going to talk about stuff. And you showed up anyways. And you listened.
Because I love you.
Too, Daddy.
Early on, insiders caught wind of a tension brewing between Blake Lively and actor-producer Justin Baldoni.
Everyone can tag Justin Baldoni to his video.
Tag Justin.
It would mean the world to me.
At first glance, it appeared as if this were just another fleeting celebrity spat. However,
I have been trying to reach out to you for the longest. I have everything of you.
The stakes were far higher than anyone initially suspected.
I'm sure he'll have critics. Blake, I'm sure he brought the terminally ill person for the... I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that at all. This person was all over TikTok trying to make this happen.
A series of discreet conversations and leaked snippets of dialogue hinted at a conflict that had been carefully stoked behind the scenes.
Insulted Blake Lively, blast sexist. The Hollywood Reporter cover lampooning her. Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Should be ashamed of yourself.
In hushed circles, it was said that Justin's family, most notably his resolute father, was not willing to let this dispute simmer quietly.
Blake Lively blasted the Hollywood Reporter for its February 21st cover. Rob, can you pull up whatever the cover is? Which featured a cartoon mocking her lawsuit against it. Ends with, is this it?
Yes.
Ends with co-star Justin Baldoni calling it outrageously insulting.
They were determined to shift the narrative and reclaim control over an unfolding situation that could tarnish their son's reputation.
Playing into every sexist trope, the illustration depicts Lively using a slingshot to fire a cell phone at Baldoni, referencing her legal team's attempt to subpoena his text messages. A spokesperson for Lively condemned the magazine, saying the Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself.
What seemed like an ordinary disagreement was, in fact, the opening move in a high-stakes game of chess, where every word and every tweet was a potential blow.
Every single thing that she's claimed against him has been disproved.
So he was a class act throughout the entire process.
Yeah.
Imagine an arena where every subtle comment becomes ammunition, a place where calculated whispers could explode into a media frenzy.
And as a response to this, she was getting a lot of hate.
This was exactly what happened as the initial sparks of controversy began to fly.
Then when there was negative backlash as a result, they painted all these false allegations against Justin in order to try to get back the power in the narrative.
And as the industry watched with bated breath, the first hints of a deliberate sabotage against Blake Lively emerged, setting the stage for a conflict that would soon captivate audiences worldwide.
Highlighting this is a mean girl. This isn't a good person. And in response to this, what she did was she created a smear campaign against Baldoni, stating that actually he was making a smear campaign against her. And that's the reason why she had all of this negative backlash.
Before long, the silent whispers escalated into a digital war zone. Within hours, social media platforms lit up with cryptic messages and cutting remarks that carried the unmistakable signature of Justin Baldoni's family.
The ones who were seeking gag orders against Baldoni from releasing information, whereas his team is saying, nope, let's put out everything. Every single text message. They're showing they have nothing to hide.
One viral post boldly declared, "In a world full of Blakes, be a Justin." Such a seemingly simple line carried an explosive punch. It wasn't just a boast, but a clarion call, inviting everyone to choose sides in a drama that was rapidly spiraling out of control.
I really love this story because, again, it speaks to this larger cultural thing of the Me Too movement.
Every tweet and Instagram story appeared to be strategically placed. These weren't offhand remarks. They were carefully crafted messages designed to cast doubt on Blake's integrity. The family's social media blitz was a masterclass in modern PR warfare.
They tried to completely intimidate him, and it's amazing to see that it hasn't worked.
Each post built upon the last, layer by layer, and created a narrative that challenged the widely held image of Blake as the epitome of Hollywood grace.
Very difficult for anyone to ever work with Blake Lively ever again.
Viewers found themselves caught in a whirlwind of hashtags, memes, and viral debates. The online conversation was not only fueling the scandal, but also drawing in celebrities, journalists, and fans from every corner of the internet.
Because if they would have won against him, a guy whose dream was to be a Hollywood actor, producer, director, they could have crushed his career if they would have won.
The sheer scale of the reaction created a psychological trigger, an irresistible curiosity that begged the question.
The more time we got to spend with Blake Lively, the less we liked her, because she was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
What had really happened behind the curtains? And with every share and comment, the digital battle intensified, setting the stage for what would soon become one of the most talked about feuds in Hollywood history.
Blake Lively has got a bit of a god complex.
While the public feud raged online, the true undercurrents of the controversy were unfolding away from prying eyes. Sources close to the situation later revealed that Justin Baldoni's family had been meticulously compiling an arsenal of evidence.
In her complaint, she said things like he walked in on her breastfeeding. She said things like he chastised her for her weight. All of this has been debunked by the text messages provided by Baldoni. She, in fact, messaged him saying, hey, I'm breastfeeding right now, but come into my trailer. Let's go ahead and run some lines.
Long before the scandal erupted into the public domain, leaked text messages, internal emails, and confidential recordings painted a dramatically different picture of Blake Lively's behavior and intentions.
She made him and his whole family go down to the basement.
Go down to the basement during the premiere of his movie. He literally was not even allowed to be at the premiere of his own movie.
Why?
One particularly explosive set of messages revealed a side of Blake that many had never seen, a side where manipulation and self-interest appeared to underpin her public persona. These private communications, allegedly exchanged over months, detailed discussions where Blake's words were used to spin a narrative that ultimately benefited her own ambitions.
Because Blake Lively had alienated the entire cast against him. She had convinced everyone that he was this monster, this terrible person, so she could wield all creative control of the movie and end up getting her final cut of the movie, not Justin Baldoni.
In one text, she attempted to downplay serious accusations, only to have her version of events contradicted by a series of later messages. The evidence was not only damning, it was a calculated expose revealing the careful choreography behind every public statement she had ever made.
He didn't even get to see the final cut of the movie.
Get out of here.
Because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds came in with their own team, their own editors. They completely hijacked this thing.
This trove of digital breadcrumbs began to chip away at the image Blake had so carefully constructed. What was once seen as a picture of grace and authenticity was now marred by allegations of deceit. And as each new piece of evidence surfaced,
Shortly into production, Blake Lively is very dissatisfied with virtually everything around her, is like this virulent sexual harasser who can't stop harassing one of the biggest stars in Hollywood in front of everybody on the set. I've got questions. I'm not sure why he would do that.
the public's perception shifted dramatically. It wasn't long before the narrative evolved from one of simple celebrity drama to a sophisticated power play. A narrative in which Justin Baldoni's family was not just defending their honor, but actively dismantling the legacy of one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars.
And so the more time we got to spend with Blake Lively, the less we liked her, the more her promotional efforts for a film about domestic violence felt off. She was full of giggles and laughter and wanted to promote her liquor brand. Nothing says domestic violence like a bottle of tequila. What?
As the relentless digital assault intensified, even the once unshakable Blake Lively couldn't hold it together. According to multiple reports, when the barrage of damning evidence and scathing social media jabs reached its peak, Blake finally lost her composure. Sources reveal that she had a full-blown meltdown.
Baldoni denied those claims of sexual harassment and only tried to appease Blake Lively because she was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
Something unheard of from a woman long admired for her poise. This was no longer the composed Hollywood darling who once controlled the narrative with a confident smile. Instead, friends and insiders noticed subtle yet painful changes. A bright, assured presence replaced by anxious glances and a palpable sense of defeat.
Blake Lively went to the New York Times, and the New York Times wrote the sympathetic poor Blake Lively story. Oh, we were all wrong about her.
The emotional toll of the sabotage was now evident in every public appearance. At movie premieres and industry events, whispered conversations and furtive glances confirmed what many had feared. Blake's reputation was crumbling under the weight of relentless criticism and public humiliation.
Blake is saying things. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but she compares herself to Khaleesi. I believe she has dragons. She's like, I have dragons just like Khaleesi. I have Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. They were doing everything they could to intimidate this guy.
What had once been an image of strength and resilience was now a portrait of a woman overwhelmed by betrayal. The media, once eager to celebrate her, had turned its back, amplifying every misstep. Her meltdown, widely circulated online, not only exposed her vulnerability, but also marked the turning point in this Hollywood saga.
Taylor Swift, she is getting deposed. It is happening. I have it on very good authority that Taylor Swift is going to get subpoenaed.
The narrative had decisively shifted, and the very platforms that once championed her now stood as relentless critics, leaving everyone to wonder if Blake Lively could ever reclaim the untouchable status she once enjoyed.
Taking advantage of her, taking advantage of her brand.
The controversy extended far beyond personal pain. It struck at the heart of Hollywood's intricate power dynamics. As the narrative began to favor Justin Baldoni's family, industry executives and influential insiders started recalibrating their alliances.
And I want to be clear, that has the potential to humiliate Taylor.
High-profile projects that once featured Blake Lively began to stall. Production teams, once eager to work with the acclaimed actress, now hesitated, citing concerns over the mounting controversy.
First and foremost, no matter how you feel about Taylor Swift, you have to recognize and respect the fact that she is a machine, okay? She is an absolute machine. She will do everything to protect her image.
Inside sources revealed that studios were increasingly wary of attaching their brands to a figure who was quickly becoming synonymous with scandal. It's as if the entire industry is holding its breath, waiting for the next chapter in this unfolding drama, noted one-season publicist.
Taylor Swift is having bad blood with Blake Lively. I am not your dragon. I knew it.
The very fabric of Hollywood was being rewoven in real time, with the once solid alliances of the elite now dissolving into a turbulent landscape of suspicion and realignment. This shift wasn't merely about reputations.
Do you remember the scene where he's nice, Paul, and he's saying like, oh, she bounced back right after her pregnancy. It's okay, I can say that I'm a feminist. They're literally mocking Justin Baldoni.
It was a stark reminder that in an industry where perception is currency, the slightest misstep can trigger seismic shifts. The calculated tactics employed by Justin Baldoni's family were reshaping power structures.
He's actually a good person and a Me Too victim. And then Justin Baldoni did something very smart. He hired the lawyer who represented me in my fight with NBC News, which ended well.
Forcing even the most established figures to reconsider their loyalties. The fallout was profound as studios and executives alike began to distance themselves from a controversy that promised to redefine the rules of celebrity and influence.
Normal people at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her. She seems like a bully.
At the center of this Hollywood maelstrom was the strategic genius of the Baldoni family. Rather than resorting to typical media bickering, they executed a multi-layered campaign that combined digital precision with old-school PR tactics.
Other footage is coming out of Blake Lively admitting, hey, when I get involved with projects, they hire me as the actress, and sometimes I don't really tell them, but I actually want to come in and I want to rewrite it, and I want to be a producer, and I want to do all of these things. She's literally admitted all of this blatantly.
Their approach was deliberate and ruthless, designed to seize control of the narrative and dismantle Blake's long-standing image piece by piece. Justin Baldoni's father emerged as the unyielding spokesperson in this saga.
It's absurd that they were going to this level.
Every subsequent social media post, every leaked message, was part of a larger strategy to expose inconsistencies in Blake's public persona. The family's communications were interwoven with subtle psychological triggers.
Blake complaining that they're evading the privacy, they're doing all this, but then meanwhile, right, she's on Saturday Night Live with Ryan making jokes, hitting back. I mean, is it not a little hypocritical? Is this a bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this in public?
A perfect blend of shock and suspense designed to leave viewers questioning everything they thought they knew. In an industry where timing is everything, the Baldoni family's releases were meticulously choreographed.
Baldoni, you're right. We have squashed the subpoena. The reach was too big, and therefore they agreed that the ruling, they squashed the extent to seek the phone records of Wayfair. The ruling is without prejudice. Live parties, several modified subpoena.
Leaks were timed to coincide with major public events, ensuring maximum impact. As each new piece of evidence emerged, the tension built steadily, creating a sense of inevitability that few could ignore.
Anyone else seeing the gaslighting from Blake and Ryan, constantly trying to just wave things that we've seen with our own minds and pretend like they didn't happen?
It wasn't just a reaction, it was a premeditated assault on the status quo. And with every strategic move, the family tightened its grip on the unfolding narrative. Behind every public feud lies a maze of personal ambitions, insecurities, and hidden agendas.
It was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I don't want to just be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship.
As the evidence mounted, questions began to swirl about the true motivations driving Justin Baldoni's family. Was their campaign solely an act of parental protection, or did it mask a deeper, more calculated desire to rewrite the rules of Hollywood influence?
Blake Lively asked judge for stronger protective order to keep Justin Baldoni suit details private after receiving violent messages. They go there. They are really trying to keep the evidence out of the public eye, it would seem. Yeah, he's right.
Insiders whispered of a campaign planned months in advance, a carefully laid blueprint designed to dismantle an icon's reputation. They were playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers, remarked one anonymous source. The messages and leaked communications painted a picture of a family united by a singular mission, to protect their own legacy at any cost, even if it meant orchestrating a public downfall for a once beloved actress.
Are you nuts? You made this a public battle, and now it is a public battle, and Justin has every right to fight this publicly to clear his name.
This complex interplay of motives adds an entirely new dimension to the scandal. While many viewed the campaign as a straightforward defense of Justin Baldoni's character, the deeper narrative reveals a layered, almost cinematic struggle for control.
We're women, so we can just lie and cheat and steal our way into control these big movies. I mean, how disturbing is this to you?
The emotional arcs of everyone involved, Blake's unraveling vulnerability, the family's calculated stoicism, And even the reactions of the public create a tapestry of drama that is as captivating as it is tragic.
So she filed a lawsuit before actually having clear evidence, and we're supposed to just continue to believe her.
Every twist in the story serves as a reminder that behind the glitz of celebrity, real people with real ambitions are locked in battles where even the slightest miscalculation can have life-altering consequences. This isn't merely about one feud. It's a reflection of a broader, systemic issue in an industry that values image over integrity.
Everyone's seeing through it. They're seeing through the BS. And, at the end of the day, they're the ones who are seeking gag orders against Baldoni from releasing information, whereas his team is saying, nope, let's put out everything.
As the dust begins to settle on one of Hollywood's most explosive controversies, the long-term consequences are starting to become painfully clear. For Blake Lively, the price of being caught in the crossfire has been steep. Her career, once a symbol of elegance and resilience, now hangs in the balance. The cascade of negative publicity, combined with the relentless scrutiny from both the media and her peers, has left deep scars that may take years to heal.
Baldoni counter-sued Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds for defamation and extortion. On Wednesday, Lively filed an amend law complaint stating she was not alone in raising allegation of on-set misconduct.
In stark contrast, Justin Baldoni's star continues to rise. With each carefully executed maneuver, his family's campaign not only shifted public sentiment, but also redefined what it means to wield power in today's digital age. Their tactics have set a precedent, a blueprint for how strategic communication and timing can reshape an industry. For many insiders, the Baldoni family's approach is now being studied as a case study in modern public relations warfare, an example of how, in the age of social media, a well-planned narrative can transform fortunes overnight.
Provided a text message showing, hey, I have an intimacy coordinator. I'll get you on a call with her. No, I'm fine, thank you. I don't need to meet with the intimacy coordinator. So essentially, every single thing that she's claimed against him has been disproved.
But the implications of this scandal reach far beyond personal rivalries. It's a wake-up call for Hollywood, a reminder that in a world where every tweet and every leaked message can tip the scales, no one is truly safe from the consequences of a misstep. The aftermath of this feud is already reshaping industry dynamics, forcing studios and executives to rethink their alliances and reconsider the true cost of celebrity.
Like asking for my address or my phone number or my location share. I could just location share you and then we could
The saga of Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni's family isn't just about personal betrayal. It's a look into the dark side of celebrity culture. What began as subtle whispers turned into a full-blown war of words and digital maneuvers, reshaping Hollywood's power dynamics.
Really can turn that screw if she wants to. Calculating, manipulative, right? And mean. There's just a lot of it there, and it's all adding up.
For Blake, vulnerability came at a steep price, while the Baldoni family seized control of the narrative. As one chapter closes, another begins. Hollywood's next twist could be just around the corner, ready to upend the industry once again.
He's accused of having turned the whole cast of It Ends With Us against Justin. By the time they premiered the movie, Ryan Reynolds had unfollowed him on Insta, so had Blake, so had the rest of the cast.
If you're as captivated by these power plays as we are, subscribe and stay tuned for our next deep dive into Tinseltown drama. Your comments and engagement fuel our mission to uncover the truth behind every headline. This is Sasha Spills, signing off, leaving you with the promise that the next chapter in Hollywood's drama is just a click away.